Hi everyone. So I'm just going to move my camera slightly. Well, it's been an age since I've been here. Oh, there we go. Let me just put something there and I turn off autofocus, and I don't know what it is about Facebook, but it automatically puts everything onto autofocus. Does my nutting. How is everyone? Sorry I've not been around for a while. Started off with me being very poorly, and then we had the NEC, and and then to now just coming in. Hi Sharon. I remember that I changed all my Facebook passwords and stuff, and I had to try and remember what my new logins were. Oh the joys. Oh the joys. Anyhow, how is everyone? I'm moaning. So let's stop moaning. Right. Okay, tonight I'm going to have a little play with the new... I'm just going to put them like this so you can see them. I've got lots of different bits done already. I've prepped it a lot so I can try and do as many ideas as I can. Frida and Friends. And sorry, my light is getting in the way there. Well, I'm being attacked by paintbrushes now. Let's just move you guys. But I'll move them. I did, Patty. Yeah, bless her. Yeah, it was, a little bit of a scare, I must admit, yes. But all turned out good in the end. All turned out good in the end, bless. Yeah, let's just say that Brig wasn't half the issue. Bless them, the security guys were part of the issue, but never mind. Oh... No, Noreen. I did honestly wonder if I had COVID. I did test myself twice, but I didn't, thankfully. Thankfully. Well, anyhow, we've got some different characters. So we've got Bella, Beryl, and Bella, so that's Beryl, that's Bella. And it's an A6 stamp set. The graphics aren't to actual size. So if I get the stamps out, they're in the packaging. As you can see, they're A6 stamp sites. So we've got Bella and Beryl. Let's put you there. We've then got Frida, who's the main collection. Frida and Clarence. And we've obviously got Frida and we've got Clarence there joining in, sort of thing. So this is, again, it's an A6 stamp set. We've got Connie and Crispin, and Connie can go on her head that way round. Crispin can be doing anything he wants to do. And then finally, we've got Vera and Luna. Now, there is... Hi, Dominique. Yeah, and most of us who do lives in the group were at the NEC last week. So that's why there was no real lives. And it was very hard to get anyone to cover because most people were up at the NEC. That sort of thing. So, yeah. It was very tricky, but never mind. So we've got these beautiful characters, and also we've got some new stencils, which I'm going to have a play with. We've got this mushroom one, which I've kept clean for the moment, but I've got an idea for that. I'm going to use my Be Crafty inkable because I forgot to die cut some circles. And then a die set, which is DL. It's the whole width of this packet, and it's music note. Look, let me, if I grab one out, you can see what it looks like. Let's just move you guys out the way. And it's a music one, so you can cut out different edges with it as well as other musical notes and everything like that. This one would work really well with some of the shady designs, the oval frames, and the last set I brought out. So what I have done before is I've already gone ahead and stamped and coloured quite a few of the characters out because I thought it would be nice to try and get a few ideas done. I ran out of time of doing all of them, but it gives you an idea, and they need a little bit of tweaking with the colouring. So I thought we'd try and make at least a couple of cards with them. Hi B, how are you? Hi Kim. Hi Maxine. So I thought we'd have, so I've gone ahead and coloured them. They need a little bit of tweaking, as I said, but I just wanted to get as much of the bits and pieces done as I could, rather than just make it all about colouring and everything like that. So I want to start, she says, I'm going to put my hand there before my camera goes into autofocus mode. They're really cute characters. They are really cute. Now, I know I'm working white on white, but it's just easier for the light, especially when it's dark. It just makes my area a lot lighter, so I know that's a bit of a pain. So I'm going to grab some distress inks. Well, I am if I put my pencils out the way. Let's move you. And put you there. And what I'm going to do is I want a little bit of mustard seed and that one. So I'm going to go yellows and oranges for the first bit. Okay. And I'm going to use the stars stencil. I'm just going to grab a piece of card with the stars stencil just to show something. Right, the stars stencil, as you can see, they've got like the 4-point stars. Mine's a bit grubby because I was using it for something else. But you can create other patterns on it. Let's just grab my brushes in, my 1001 brushes. I'm going to go for an orange just to show quickly. So what we can do is we can, so the shape, I'll just do a couple of the shapes so you can see. So the shape looks like that. That's like a 4-pointed star. Hi, Mum. Hi, Kay. Long time no see. So we've got the 4 stars like that. Now what you can do is you can rotate it round and you can actually then take the stencil and you can create an 8-pointed star. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking the points there and eyeballing, for want of a better expression. And if I go over again, I can create a completely different look sort of star. So you can build it up quite easily. So you can make it more 3D if that's what you want to do. So I'm having an argument with my box. That's it. I put my feet on. So we're going to use that stencil. So I've got, oh, I don't know what size it is. I think, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think, oh, I want to say 5.5. I want to put the stencil there, but I want to grab, like my Inkables mask. Mine is well grubby. That sounds very nice, well grubby. And I just want to put it roughly over in place. So that's it. I'm just working out how much of the stars are going to be seen, so that's fine. Right, okay, so I just want to start by just adding a little bit of colour on here. And I don't want this to be too dark. So, hi Caroline. So yeah, had the pleasure of spending quite a few evenings with Kay and Jane and Lynette and Taz, which was lovely. And met loads of different people. It's really lovely meeting people and seeing you all and putting faces to names. It's really nice, that is, I must admit. Right, so I'm just going to use this because I want to create my circle space there. I want to make it just a little bit darker down the bottom. And just a little bit there. And all I've done is I've just taken squeezed lemonade and I'm just using mustard seed distress inks. And the top half is staying lighter and the bottom half is going to go a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of orange around the edge. It'd be much quicker if I'd got my bigger ink pads out, but these will do. I know, a lot of eyeballing and roughly. I do a lot of eyeballing. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, you're more than welcome, Cheryl. So all I want to do is I just want to create the bottom half is going to be a little bit darker than the top half. And I'm not going for perfect blending. I just don't see, sometimes I don't see the point of, you know, doing lots of perfect blending. But that's me sometimes thinking, you know, I've got an idea in my head and I want to move on to the next part of the idea. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the stars stencil on top because I want the stars to be just within that circle. If they go slightly out, I'm not lose sleep, but I just want them mainly in that circle bit. So I'm just going to bring them in like so, and we'll just put the ones that have got a little bit of the orange down the bottom and just build up a bit of the pattern. So it's going to be very subtle pattern building on top. If I move that away, I've now got that background going there. I could do like I showed you just a minute ago and line up one of the stars, and we could make one, or you could make all of them depending on what you wanted to do, like a subtle bit of like a little bit of the 8-star look there. I quite like that actually. Now I'm deviating off course. Let's just do one there. Let's see what it looks like, and then I'll stop there. Right. Yeah, we'll leave that there. I quite like that. That I can get out of the way with a little bit of water on a water brush, which we'll do last but not least. Let's just move you guys out of the way. So that's going to be my actual background, because what I thought was, if I actually take Frida herself, she needs a little bit more tweaking, and I'm going to get my jelly rolls. I've now got her sitting within that circle area. So she's like basked in the glow, as it were. But I want just to add a few more details to it. So I'm just going to grab the stamp set. And in the stamp set, you get some backgrounds, you get some words. And I just want to build up a few of these elements. And one of the little words you get there is a tiny little word, and it just says chill. And I've realised I've got the biggest stamp block in the world out that I don't really need to. So let's get a smaller one. And I just want to build up the actual design and make sure the word's the right way round would just make it a little bit easier for me. Okay, let's just move her. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, I'll lift it up so you can see. And all I want to do is I'm just going to stay within the circle. And I'm staying with a similar colour. And I will use different colours from there. And all it is just giving the slight wording in place in different areas. And as I said, it's going to be a little bit trickier to see, but I'm going to start with the lighter colour, and then I'll gradually get a little bit darker. But if you really wanted it to stand out, using your oxides now on top of your distresses would work perfectly for that. Crochet. Oh, I prefer crochet over knitting. Says my mum, who's in here, is something who can knit like, I don't know, a Formula 1 racer. Right, so I'm just taking that word chill and I'm just making it very, very subtly. So it's just creating a subtle layering within this background, and I'm keeping, like I said, all the colours very, very similar. And we'll just go around there. And let's do one or two a little bit darker ones up here as well. And build it up. So we've got that very, very, very subtly. Hi, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie in here is the designer of all these images. Right, so it's really very, very, very subtle in the background actually there. So we've got that there. So it just looks like it gives the illusion of more layering as such. So we've just got those there. And then what I want to do is I want to take this stamp, which could be a border, a dangle. I love a stamp like that. That could be whatever you want it to be. And I'm just going to work out where I want to actually put her. And I just want a little bit of shadowing nearby. Okay. grab... I'm just going to grab a little bit of the pumice stone. You could easily do this with archivals. So let's work out she's going to go there. And all I'm trying to do is just ground her so she's not floating. She's, you know, like she's sitting somewhere. And we'll blend that out. Now on one of the other sets there's like this yoga mat, so you could use that, but I'm going to use this for the moment. And I just want to grab a water brush. Has that got water in? I'm just going to pull out a little bit of this colour and let it blend in a little bit with the yellow as well. There we go. We've got that there. Right, let's put you down. So now it looks like she's sitting, or she's created a little bit of a shadow when she actually sits on there. Well, it's good enough for Tom Daly. Is that knitting? All the Formula One drivers. Yeah, why not? Mind you, I'm not sure if they could inside their cockpits because they're very, very squidgy, you know, tight. So I'm going to put that to one side and let it dry, and we'll just finish her off, because all I want to do is, and I need to blend that out because that's going to bug me. We'll just take that. And if you just do it little by little with water and just take it away, it will slowly blend out. There we go. So we need to finish her off. So what's going to happen is I'm going to make her a little border, and she's going to sit there, and then we're going to stamp, because in the same set you get some little flowers, and I want to stamp those out so they're sitting on her hand. But until I get her in place, I didn't want to do that just yet. So let's just put you to one side, and we'll get my jelly rolls, which I did get out. Where did I put you? Behind me. It's behind you. Okay. Okay, look away, because they're still in a mess because my elastic bands are broken still. Hi Helen, how are you? Right, there's spare paints, don't need paints. I just want to add a little bit of extra detail to her. She doesn't need much. If you're scared of colouring, I'm going to say these images are perfect, because they're really open images, so that you can make your colouring as complicated. You can look now, Kay. You can make your colouring as complicated as you want it to be, or you know, you can make it as subtle as you want it to be. So I just want to put some little dots on her eyes. And I think when you have a stylized images, I think it takes away the pressure from colouring, because you don't have to think, oh, they've got to be, you know, that's where the shadowing is going to be. You can put it wherever you want it to be. So all I'm doing is I'm just adding a few little white highlights and a few dots here and there, and I want to just put a few on her top. I watercoloured these images in because that was just quicker for me. And we're just going to add a few. They're big enough images as well that you could actually stamp these on your decorative papers and paper piece, if that's what you wanted to do as well. Let's just put some. Yeah, and we'll just put a few extra bits here. And saying to someone over the time, you know, we make sometimes our colouring more complicated than it needs to be. So that's her. Use hair like, yeah, I know, Noreen, I need to go and buy some, because obviously being a person who has short hair, I never think about that when I go shopping. So we've got her sitting there, and as I said, all I've done is I've coloured it very plainly. I've hardly done any shading on her at all, and then just added some white gel pens to it. I think she needs some lip gloss though. Let me see if I can find my glaze pen. I do think she needs a little bit of lip gloss. No, I can't see it, but I'll get that on in a minute. So, what we're going to do is just quickly mount this one here. Hi, Angela. Oh, Helen, that sounds brilliant. I must admit, I've been doing a little bit of... I decided I would make myself an album for something I wanted to do with Ciao Bella. And I thought, I'm just going to keep it really simple for once. And no, I made it more complicated than I needed to be, but hey. Right, so I'm just going to put it on a simple black background. And then I'm just going to then put it on another white background, because I think I'm trying to make this one look calming and peaceful. Now, what I was going to say, and I forgot to say, was that if you go, I know they're going to be added to, the description's going to be added onto the Dolly Dimples pages. But if you went to the Dolly Dimples website and you will find the Frida collection on there. It's not, obviously, it's exclusive to C&C for tomorrow. On each of the images, Anne-Marie has written a description about the characters and what the characters are like, and things like that. So you can get an idea of what each of the characters are like, how they know each other, and so on and so forth. And that's on the website. I know they're going to be shared tomorrow, so you'll get an idea from there as well. Swimming. Oh. Pilates. Oh, I never quite got on with Pilates. Don't know why. I prefer a bit of yoga. I think yoga just seems more easier to do than Pilates. Or maybe I'm just not bendy enough for Pilates anymore. Right, so I'm just going to put that there. And we've got her here. I think it's also nice to have a character that's not skinny. It's like got all the right curves in the right places, as I call it. That's what I look like in shorts and a t-shirt, so I'm happy about that. I've gone back to small foam pads, which is a bit of a pain, but never mind. Let's move you guys somewhere safe. I'll put you on. And so let's do this. Right, let's pull those out. Thank you, Kay. Right, so she's going to sit just like that. And just sit within that actual circle like that. And as I said, what I want to do in the stamp set, you've got some flowers. You've also got some words that says it's your birthday. I could easily stamp out the chill and have that, you know, balanced on either side. I quite like that idea, actually. Oh, I'm changing my mind again. Let's just grab that, and I need, where to put my black ink pad underneath. So you've got lots of different choice that you can actually do. Right, if I didn't put so much ink on, let's not put so much ink on this time. That's better. Could have done it on the stars as well, but didn't I? I re-inked all my ink pads over the last 3 or 4 days, and now I think I got a bit carried away with them. They're a little bit too juicy. Right, let's just put you back so I don't lose you. And let's put you back so I don't lose you. Right, okay. And I'll just chop them out roughly. Because I could actually do the stars as well. Let's see how easy it is to cut the stars out. Changed my mind again about what I was going to do. I think it's one of the joys when you're crafting. Different ideas come to you. Dominic, I think you've done Because it's not that long that you had it done. It took Steve a long time to get over his. So we can make a decision in a minute of whether you agree or not. Right, so I've got... So I thought that technically you could have one of the stars by the hand. And we could cut the word chill out. That's not straight. That will bug me. And they could sit in the star. If I did it the opposite way, or I'm just going to do the word by itself on the other side. I have got some star sequins somewhere. That might work better. But then that's me rather liking a sequin. Or 90 dozen of them. Right, scissors, put you away. Or we just have chill. I think I just prefer it with the chill. Let's do that like that. Let's move you guys. Glue. Let's do that there. Sorry, I've gone quiet while I do this. Thank you, Judith. Loving all your shots about your touring round. Making me somewhat jealous. Right, so we've got that. And I'm going to call... And I would probably add a few sequins on there just to bring out, keep the yellow. But I'm going to keep her because I just think she's got such a look about her that I don't think... You could go absolutely crazy with her. But I think she just looks just as cool just on a simple background sitting there. And like I said, in the stamp set, which I could add on as well, it's your birthday, so I could easily make a banner there and have it's your birthday, so you could add that to it, or it could easily go on the top or the bottom. Actually, it'd work on the bottom if you made it part of the rug. It's your birthday. So you could carry on from there, but I wanted to keep hers quite relatively simple. And then, you know, you take it however far you want it to go. So that was my first idea, and that is with Frida. Do you know, every time I hear the name Frida, sorry, Anne-Marie, I want to sit there and go into an ABBA song. And I'm not an ABBA fan, but I just think of Frida from ABBA. Maybe I've got that wrong. Right, so that was an idea to do with Frida. And obviously you get the little Clarence there. He's at her pet companion, her dog. And can you see he's doing... a yoga move as well. He's got his legs crossed, so he's getting in the chill zone with her. So we've got that one. So that's the first idea. Let's put you to one side for the moment, and we'll get the next one. So that was my first idea. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to take the dies, and now I couldn't make up my mind what colours I wanted to do. So I've sat and cut them out in like a cream card. And I've also cut them out in black. So this is the dies themselves, and I'm missing a black one. Oh well, that doesn't matter. So the border, so you can make a nice border with them, or you can use them as is. There's another outside cutting edge with them, so you can use them in lots of different ways. But I actually wanted to create them into like a shaped card. So I'm going to do both, and I got some card out. Downward Dog. Yeah. They have strange names, don't they? Right, what I want to do is so I'm just looking for my acetate. Now that's my reheatable acetate. I don't want that one. Or should I say it's my heatable acetate. I want more of my construction-y type acetate. And that's that one. And what I thought would be nice for this one is to actually bring some of the other characters in. So this one could be done either way. So I want to create, one of my favourite cards is like a DL. So I've got my background card piece there. And I just want to cut this down. I've lost another guillotine. Again. I don't know how I do it, but... Right, let's make a mark there. So that means another crafty purchase. Mind you saying that though, made enough crafty purchases. Oh, that's a shame. Mind you, the weather isn't brilliant, is it? So that probably doesn't help where you are either, Charmaine. Right, let's work out where I've put that. I should have really made a mark with a Sharpie on it, but hey-ho, that'll do. Okay, let's put that acetate over there. I'm just going to grab my scoreboard. That's another thing I lost. Oh, my original hoagie is somewhere up at the studio that no one's owning up to, which is rude. I gained a gilly. I bought one of those foil pens, didn't I, and some foil. I had a go last night. I'm absolutely loving those. Didn't think I would, but I am. I just don't want to keep getting out of a die cutting machine all the time. That's the only reason. Oh, bless her, Julia and Adam. They did well. Mind you, quite a few of them, from what I can gather. I tuned into Julia's show and thought, what? Right, so I've just created that there. And what I want to do is, that's now going to sit and join there. And the acetate is going to be the front of my card. But I want to just add a few of the notes. So like I said, I've die cut some of the notes here. And I just want to build up a little bit of a border using them. So it's quite see-through behind. I just need to grab some glue. He said that you had just arrived in Oundle and had just come along and driven up and pulled the plug out by mistake. As you arrive. He was basically saying sort of thing so you could meet up with Julia. Right, so I just want to put the die. The die can go anyway, so let's put the die there. And cut away the excess. And then I've got the next one here. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just building up a bit of a background. So the die can go in any direction. I can leave any loops. Anything that doesn't stick down yet, I will get another piece of card. And so, she should go into the bar, Anne-Marie. She could probably get a better signal there. Right, so I'm just going to take this part of the die here. And I've just kept it on the card because it just makes it easier for me to see the acetate against my mat. Right, so we've got that there. So even though this is like a DL's length in die, doesn't mean you have to use it, you know, the full die size. So we've got that there. Let's cut this bit away here. And I've got these two here. And then I've got, oh, this one is going to go across. Now I'm going to break that up a little bit. So let's make that one go across like that. And I'll get that there. So, right, we've got that there. And I can trim away these bits. As I said, I'm just keeping the acetate on top of the card piece because then I can see a bit more where the acetate is, whereas if I left it on my mat, I'd know I'd lose it. Right, so we've got that there. Just want to grab a scrap piece of card. And put some glue. If Janie's watching, Janie, I'm using your glue. Right, so those bits didn't stick down. I'm just going to put the scrap piece of card underneath. And that will hold them in place. So I've got those going there. Let's stick you guys down. And I've got these little bits going up the top here, so I could have that going off like that. A little bit more, but I was going to leave that plain for the moment. Right, so I've got those there. I'm just going to wipe my hand quickly and get rid of the glue on the back. There we go. And put the lid on the glue. Steve's got the heating on, so it's like a sauna in here. Right, so we've got that there. Let's just glue, just get some tape and just put this acetate down, and then we can start building up the idea I had in my head. I can't find my I'll just use normal tape. I would normally use red liner, but we'll use this one for now. So there we go. Let's burnish that down. There we are. Right, so I'm just going to put that like that now and line it up. Okay, so I've got that going like that. I can trim down the excess of the card that's showing. I'm going to have to get this guillotine in. I've lost, like I said, I've lost my little guillotine. I'm mortified. I love my little guillotine. I've had that since they first brought that out. Some tonic. Never mind. And I'm just going to trim this down. There we go. So this now, I haven't made it a DL. This now would fit into a 7x5 envelope. Right, let's put you away. Right, so what I thought is we've got this on the acetate here. And what I thought would be really, really nice is I can bring in some of the other characters. So we could have, we need to finish Vera off. We could just have Vera. Vera needs to be, I think. So we could have Vera there. I need to colour that in, and I will colour that in with a jelly roll. I think that needs to be sparkly. And Vera's companion is the beautiful Luna. So we could put the two together. So we could have Vera and we could have Luna dancing on the actual musical notes. And the sentiment in there, which I think is really cool, it says it's your day to be a princess. And I thought the sentiment could go actually along the top. You have it, Charmaine. Oh, Charmaine. Yes, 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 yes. Catching. I'm happy now. So I just had this vision of a high-vis security guard going around. Now, in the same die set, I could add in, there is other little, you know, separate die notes that I could add in and build it up. But I just actually want to make this more about keeping the cards about the actual characters and making them stand out. So I'm going to add a little bit of detail to those, and we'll stamp the sentiment, and we'll keep the cards, you know, nice and clean for them. There is this in here though, which I keep forgetting. It's a stamp that's like a dangle of hearts. And I love that. I also love the idea of, there's one of the stamps here. I'm going to lift it up so you can see in my hand, like a little table. I know Anne-Marie did a sample where she joined, if I put a piece of card behind it, you'll see it better. She joined those together and made it look like a ballet rail. Oh, it said hello. And I'm sure Anne-Marie joined those together and made it look like like a ballet rail that you get in a studio. But there's the dangly heart one that I was talking about, you know, that could easily, I could have easily stamped, which is not such a bad idea to stamp on the acetate, but I will put that in my stamp machine. And you get lots of other, like you got other notes and parts of it as well. And you get the ballet shoes, which I thought could easily be added as my extra embellishment, you know, onto the end of the notes. So like I said, I wanted to keep it relatively clean and simple. So let's add some little bit of bling to Vera, because I feel Vera needs to be blinged out a bit, I think. She just seems that sort of character that she just needs a bit of bling. So I'm just going to use my jelly roll and my sparkle pens. And we're going to make her halo. because as I said, if you, the characters, Vera's character, when it's, she's very, very colourful. So she does need to be, you know, a little bit more blinged out. She can't be plain. Oh, that is true, Judith. That's a good idea. Right, let's just put a little bit of sparkle on her dress. I just feel that she wouldn't rock up to this sort of class, and a bit of a sparkle on her shoes. And I think she just needs a little bit of sparkle on her eyes. Where's my paintbrush? And we'll just blend that out just a little bit. And a bit of sparkle on her lips. I don't think Vera's one of, I think Vera would like to be hello, I'm here. So we're going to make her look like hello, I'm here. Enjoy, Charmaine. So, just going to put a little bit of white because where I've gone over some there. And we'll just put the little dots. I remember doing that years ago. We used to put 3 little dots on the cheek. And I can put some in some of the circles. And add a little bit of highlight. Now the other thing I thought about Vera, if I hadn't done this background like this, I actually thought that if Judith was saying about her standing out, where's a scrap piece of card? Not a scrap piece, but a card. I actually thought if you kept her, so she was just by herself like that, you could easily I'm just going to grab any old micron pen for the moment. Oh, was it, Chris? I would say they'd probably be on Dolly's Wednesday, Dominique. I actually thought that what you could do for Vera is if we did like she could look like she's got a little bit of, you know, like she's flying in the air, and you could easily look like she's flapping her arms up and down, and just leave her like that. And I also wondered, you know, then where you've got the halo, if you drew a line, a bit like she's dangling or swinging, a bit like a full sort of acrobat. She's just got that sort of look about her as well, you know, nice and simple. Just by adding that little bit of detail. Right, let's put you over here. But that wasn't what was in my head for this card. Right, we'll do something on Luna in a minute. So I said Vera, I think we'll put down on here. I don't want her to be covered there. So we'll have her there. Let's grab some 3D foam. They are cool characters, aren't they? So we've got that there. I just want to curve her a little bit more. I'll get rid of the back there. So I don't want to, it's going to go about there. Let's get rid of those bits here. And then we've got Luna. And I think she's lovely. She doesn't really need much to her. She looks really hard to colour. All I did was colour her with 2 little bits of grey. And the same pink I put on her little skirt is what I've just added to her cheeks there. She doesn't need so much. She's a lovely one to actually colour really, really quickly. I do want to grab a micron again. Yes. She would... Actually, Anne-Marie, yeah. She'd also look really good, like a non-traditional Christmas decoration. You could see her on a star or something like that, like a folk art sort of star. And I think she would look really good there as well. And I think that would make a real change. I would put some more foam pads on Luna, but just for... Now I will do that after the live to make sure she's secure. So let's just put them there. And then we've got Luna dancing like that on the top there. And then we've got the sentiment inside. Now inside, oh, let's put you there. I thought, similar to the idea we've done before, this is just my mock-up. We could easily do exactly the same technique that I did for the first card for Frida. Just that simple circle, and just have that on the inside of this card so you can see it through the actual acetate, and you've got then the pair of them having that simple that similar look in the actual circle. But I wasn't quite sure. It's one of those ones that, you know, you have an idea in your head, but until you actually see it made, you're not 100% sure whether it'll work. But I actually quite like that idea. What does everybody else think? Or it could be done in pinks. It doesn't have to necessarily be yellows. But I just thought that or if I have got a star, die cut a star, I could do it that way. But I just thought a star would be too fussy, whereas I thought the circle would be nice and simple, and they're both like basking in it. Oh, Caroline, really? So I just thought that would be a nice way. And then we've got, obviously, the sentiment there. It's your day to be a princess, which I think it's cool. And you've got dance like no one is watching. But I think it's really got to be, it's your day to be a princess. I think it's definitely got to be that sentiment. It can't be anything else, really. I like sentiments that don't necessarily say birthday. You know, so that it can be a card, you can have a card ready for any time. Right, let's have a look. Put some ink on that, then we'll just stamp this up. How would you show Vera spinning? You could easily do Vera so she's not quite symmetrical, but you could technically get away with it, Dominique, because if you look at her and you cut the reverse of her, I think she would line up quite nicely, especially if you did it with 3D foam pads. You might need to tweak the arms a little bit, and then you could do it with fishing wire and she could spin round. And you could have her double-sided that way. Or, you know, I'm trying to think what the proper name is, like the peek hole cards, you know, where you look at them one way and then when you pull them open, the other side flips round. So you could do two sides of her that way as well, or have her one side and Luna the opposite side. Sort of thing. I quite like that idea. That might be something else I'll try. So we've got that there. So what I will do is I will probably... let's just do it whilst the glue is drying. Let's just do it. Okay. Where's my circle gone? Here. Right. Let's just put this here and then just work out where they are and where I'm going to put it. Okay. That'll do. Brush. Begoinga, oh god. I think Charmaine's got enough begoingas that she could lend us all ones. So, but in doing it like this, I wouldn't probably do what I did before, which was the star stencil and stuff like that. I would just going to leave it like this. At least you've got somewhere to write as well, even if it was just in this circle area. Right, let's just do that there. And let's grab this one. And all I'm doing is I'm just using up the ink on the orange brush. So it'll only be very, very subtle shading. Alright, so we've now got that. So it sits there like that. And we've got very subtle shading behind. Let's move you guys over there. And I'll just trim this down. I will trim this down properly, but because I want to try another idea if we've got enough time. If not, I will do it and share it in the group. But where I've got this here, if you didn't want to use these two characters, you could replace the other two characters as well. I didn't get a chance to stamp out Connie, and this is Beryl and Bella, so you could still easily have the same thing with Beryl and Bella. So you could still do the same sort of card design, but with different characters. And I think that would work quite well as well. So what I'll do is I will trim that down properly, and that is just going to go there. And I could add one or two of the other notes. But I think I would leave it as nice like that, so the characters take centre stage. Or a penny spinner card. That would work, Mum. That would really work. You know, and you've got the hearts there. Like I said, I could have stamped the hearts onto the acetate as well. But I thought that was another idea, using the actual dies with the characters and just showing the characters, you know, letting the characters be centre stage. So let's put you to one side for the moment. And I will cut that down properly. It's just saves me getting out that huge big guillotine again all the time. Right, let's make a bit of space. So let's put you over there. And then I've got, this is Beryl and Bella. And I kept them quite, as I said, you don't have to do, what I like about them, you don't have to do complicated colouring if you don't want to. I've just done them like browns and left her tummy white. I've left her shorts white with white shoes. I've just taken a grey pen and just blended it out just to change them up again. So I've, you know, so they could be very, and I think that's nice as well, doing it that way. Right, what I wanted to do with this one was, where I did the notes that way. So let's grab a black piece of card just to show you. So the notes could easily go, so if I put them there on a different colour background, I probably wouldn't use black, but you could actually have, so I could get an acetate again, but this time it could be an A5 piece of acetate going this way round, and I could have the notes die and build up the background like I just did before, and we could, so this would be A5 this time, so I'm just going to build it up. And we could have them chopped down. Let's move these down there. And we could have, I don't like that, the idea that, so we could build you up there. And the way, and then anything that I chopped away, so they could join there, roughly. So you could create that. So that could be on acetate. And we could then actually have, or that just looks wrong. So we'll just move her. So she's there. And we could have the up. So it's hiding where that join is, could be there. And you could then, if that was on acetate, that creates a completely different look again to it. I could take the star stencil and actually use that with white ink. And that would work. Or, you know, just change the background completely again. So you could use it. Yes, Caroline, that is good. Yeah. Actually, that would be good then, taking the stencil, or and actually doing like with clear embossing in the background. That would look really good, and doing it that way. So I'm not quite sure, but like I said, I cut all of those out, but it was just to give you some different ideas with the characters. So, you know, so like I said, where we did this, I did this as a 7x5. You could easily change it so it went A5 and have the characters going in a different way. So the same card idea, but in a completely different direction. Wrong was funny. So, you know, you've got that going that way. So I'm just going to move that like that quickly. And I'm going to grab another piece of card. I'm just going to quickly chop this down. As I said, I'm going to have to bring this in. I thought I chopped my card down, but I hadn't. Okay. Oh, I'm really pleased now Charmaine's got my guillotine. That's really brightened up my evening. Right, so what I want to do is I want to take this stencil. Look at me putting them back in the packaging. I never do that. And then I always forget what their names are. So I always forget what I take the packaging away from it. Now on this one here, this is one that's got like some mushrooms, and you can create a mushroom, different sort of mushroom background. So you've got smaller ones, but the space is big enough that you can actually doodle inside as well. So I'm going to start, and I want to do a little bit of a darker mushroom background, and I'm going to build it up, and I'm going to use a mixture of oxides again. Not oxides, distresses for a change. Let's get a bit of that. And I'm just going to start with the black soot. Where's my black soot? That's Lost Shadow. Although, where's my black soot one gone? There it is. So I'm dreadful with my brushes. So I just want to quickly, I said this is not about perfect blending. I just want to lay down some colour, because you can always add colour. It's nicer just to start with a small amount of colour. What did that? Oh, I thought that was something knocking over. And okay. So I've just got a little bit of black soot there. I will pick up that colour in a minute, and then I just leave you out because I probably will need you again. I just want to bring in a little bit of the purple, and this is like the wilted violet. I'm just going to move it around just to put it in places. And I'm not going Halloween, I promise. That wasn't the plan in my head, anyhow. So I've just got that there. Move you. And then I want to grab you. Similar to these, one was swimming. Julie, I think not for Dolly Dimples. Anne-Marie hasn't done anything like that for Dolly Dimples. Not that I can remember. I'm trying to rack my brain now. She says. Not that I can remember, anyhow. Right, so I'm just going to do that for the moment. And then the final thing I want to do really, really quickly is I'm going to take my yellow again. Do you know, it would have been so much quicker if I'd have got bigger brushes. I'm going to put the yellow in the centre. Oh, Jane, don't worry. I did think your post was funny though, Jane. That was good. Right, so I just want to put that in the centre like that. There we go. So that's going to be my quick background. I just want to take this part of the stencil here, and I want a little bit on the side and edge, and I'm going to start off with the, I'll start with the purple. I know, Alison, I've recorded, Julia. How did the show go? Is the website working yet? So I'm just going to use the stencil. I'm just going to build that up there. You know, I put it on record and build up here. There we go. So we've got that like that. So when I put that on there, it looks like it's got a little bit of a ghostly. Marlene has done some, she's done mermaids. So I've got that there, and what I want to do is I just want to turn this around so it's going the opposite way, so it's not doing that. So I want to bring it down lower this time and build up a little bit. And I'm going to take the faded jeans. So I'm just sticking to similar colours. And I'm just going to go over the top. Oh, well, I would do it if I actually didn't put my, wasn't trying to find ink from the ink pad lid. So we've got that there. And go. So now I've got that, you know, layering on top of it. And just building up a little bit of a background with each of the ones on the top. No. So then finally what I want to do is just the last bit here. I'm just going to move it over a little bit because I don't want them to clash too much. But I'm going to put this right onto the edge and pull it down just a little bit there of my card. I'm just moving over a little bit. And then finally with the black soot, I just want to do this now. You would get, this would be stronger layering if you used your oxides, because obviously oxides are more opaque than a distress ink. But I wanted it to look, to have like a, I'm going to use an ethereal look to it. So it had like a ghost shadow. So if I move that out of the way now, so I've just got that background built up, and I'm just going to ink along the bottom edge there with the black. So we've got that there. Now, because I've just noticed the time, I won't do it now. What I would have done is I would have splattered this with some water and picked up the colour to work that way. But what I am going to do is I'm going to, well, I am, if I can find it. You know, oh, there it is. What I just want to do is I want to take this again. I'm just going to put it over the piece of my card. And my ink might be too wet for this, but we'll see. Still a little bit too wet. And I just, yeah, it is a little bit too wet. But we'll see how we get on. I might have to grab my Posca. It might be a bit too wet. Right, let's see. Hold on. Should really let your ink dry to get the maximum effect. Where have I put it though? No, that's bright yellow. I don't want bright yellow. I want white. Yay. Julia, I agree with you. It's nice to have, isn't it, something? Let's see if that's primed enough, yeah. Right, this might, like I said, this might be just, the ink is just a touch too wet to do, mind you, if I primed the ink. Right, it is. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat. Okay. Right, I'm determined to do it. Where is it? I'm going to, well, it's not cheating. I'm just speeding up the process. Gosh, what? Aha, there you are. Right, I don't want to get this messy, so I'm going to put it well away from the other ink. Paintbrush. And what I wanted to do was, I just wanted with the white to create a little bit of a ghost outline. But what I'll do is I'll put the circle back on top and I will emphasize it a little bit more. There we go, water, there we go. So now, once that's dry, I will go around with the white jelly roll or a Posca, but I need to let it dry just a little bit more. So if you can imagine, so I'm just cleaning the stencil so I can do that, that once this is dry, I'll go around with white. But because what I actually thought was, where we've got the different mushrooms now, I could have my little cat character actually in the centre there, as if he was dancing all amongst the mushrooms. It's like a magical scene. I mean, she could as well, but I just thought he would be perfect. Well, Bella would be perfect, because then taking some of the other die cuts that we've got the musical notes on, or they could be cut in white, I thought they could just go around the edge and, you know, build it up. So what I'll do is I'll let that dry, go around the outside in the white, and that could be like them dancing at the night time, as it were. Let's just move you out of the way. because again, it could be like Dance Like No One Is Watching, which would suit that, which is from Vera and Luna. I thought that would suit, you know, the sentiment from there would work, sort of thing. And then you've got the one on Connie, which I haven't got a chance to show you yet, is Think Happy, Be Happy. That also, that sentiment would actually work on there. And you've got stars in this set that I could go back over with white ink, but I need to let this dry and stamp the stars. So they would both, the sentiments would work there. So I will let that dry and I will get it finished and do it properly and go round that. And then you've got a completely different look. Thank you, Martin. So you can you know, have a completely different look with them, and make them your own characters. So that's one of them. Like I said, I'll finish. And this one here is with Vera and Luna, and that was just doing it as a simple acetate card. And then we've got Connie just chilling. She'll do, not Connie. We've got Frida just kept chilling. And then I will do something with Connie, and post something with her and Crispin. But I just wanted to give you some really quick ideas about using the card, using, you know, the different characters in lots of different ways. And the dies and stencils that are going to be on the show tomorrow with Charmaine. Thank you ever so much for your time and your company. I will finish all of these and get all the sentiments on. Like I said, I'll let that dry and put the white round the outside and get that all mounted and get them shared into the group. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.